Well, a lot of y'all here, the local segment. I'm gonna sing every time we go in the local
Here
hour.
comes the bullshit.
Here
Man,
comes the
I
bullshit.
I ain't know I ain't know Beijing had his shit banged to the right.
Yeah, he had it bang
What
to the
the
right.
hold
Hold on, wait,
on.
wait, wait,
Hey,
wait. Oh no,
hey.
oh
He said,
I
no.
"Oh,
ain't
you might
even
have did
know.
something."
Hey man, Justin
Mikey
Fields,
done found
it's
his job.
over. It's over for Justin. I ain't
Hey,
even know.
my brother peeped it right when we were doing 79. He said, "Hey, I might change my allegiance here." Um, and we gonna spend the next, probably like 40 minutes talking about uh the sad state of affairs of Chicago sports, Chicago Bears and the Chicago Bulls. We'll talk about that a little bit today. Shout out to Pappy for joining us in the first hour. Let's get into the Bears, man. The Bears won last night, 30-12, won their first home game in almost a calendar year. Last time they won was like September 22nd, I think it was 2022. I was at that very terrible game where that Roquan Smith interception won was I don't know if it was an interception or a pick six. One of them won that game, helped win that game with a field goal against the Houston Texans, man. So the Bears won that one. Tyson Bagent, I'm gonna get his stats real quick here. I mean, it was a good game by the defense. Defense got 3 turnovers, an interception by Tremaine Edmonds, 2 interceptions by Jalen Johnson, who, as just announced on, like I said earlier, is in finally actually talking to the Bears about an actual contract extension. We'll talk about him in the defense in a minute, but Tyson Bagent went 21 of 29, 1 touchdown, which was a touchdown to Deonta Foreman. Deonta Foreman had 3 touchdowns, 16 carries, 89 yards, 2 rushing and 1 receiving. Of course, we just said what the defense said, man. But I feel like this is a weird victory Monday. Like, I feel like I really didn't care about it. Like, I had the same feeling last night that I probably would have had if they actually lost the damn game. I'm just at a point of apathy with this team that I've never experienced. What do y'all feel? Because yesterday was the least action I've had in my inbox during the Bears game. Even though Bears Twitter felt like a little bit, interactions wasn't what they used to be. Is this y'all like? How do y'all feel about after this win? Pretty much, what I'm trying to.
This, bro, stop playing, bro. Like this is your classic Chicago Bears fan trap game. Where they come in, they bring in a fucking backup who's not going to be here in 6 weeks. And if he is, he's going to be holding the clipboard. And they win a game against a team that's trash. The Raiders started a quarterback who's thrown 1 touchdown in the last 4 years, and that was when he played for the fucking Bears. So the minute they started Brian Hoyer, like I told Scott, I should have bet my entire fucking check that the Bears were going to win this game because I knew they were going to win this game. They always win games like this. This means absolutely nothing. Bagent, the kid is in a terrible situation because the way they cover it makes you want to root against them, even though I have no reason to root against them. I have no reason to dislike them. But I mean, I think Adam Hodge, he hit the nail on the head on Twitter earlier today when he said there was a play where Badgett got the ball out quick, did a little check down for like 5 yards. He said this is the perfect example of the Bears' issue. Like, yeah, he got that out, but Justin either scrambles out and hits Foreman for a big gain or busts a 52-yard touchdown. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like just because he had 160 yards in the touchdown that he had an amazing fucking game. And we played the Raiders, bro. Like, we played the Raiders the last few weeks. Like I've been saying, don't put no stock in any of this shit because we've been playing bad teams and they just so happened to get a couple wins. So I didn't watch any of the game. I caught the replay. I didn't watch it live. I had no interest in watching it live. Like I told y'all, I really don't give a fuck, but I know I got to come talk about the game. So I'm
You gotta
do
be a
my
man of the
research.
people.
Right, got to. But overall, how I don't feel shit. Like I told you, that's probably gonna be my feeling on the Bears for the rest of the year. Like it just is what it is. They win, they win. Just have a bad taste in my mouth of the way the season is going so far, especially with the way that everything's been going around Justin. So I mean, I'm sure y'all can find some positives from this game, but I got nothing. I damn near want to pull a JR and just not talk, like when we be talking about baseball and he just don't say shit. I almost did that, but yeah, that's how I feel.
He be doing the word
Yeah,
that happened. But yeah, I was working yesterday, but I'll be finessing, man. I had the phone open and I was watching
we
it.
know you did. We know you did.
Yeah, I say I'm not gonna watch it, and I'm definitely clocked in, logged in, watching it. Um, it's like Dante said. Like to me, it's like whatever. If it's good to get a win at home. Obviously, it's been a very long time since they won, and I get it. As a fan base, we want to see wins, but I'm so far removed that I'm so far removed from that because to me it was just an inconsequential win. What did we learn yesterday? What did we really learn going forward for the long term for sustained success in the Chicago Bears franchise? Nothing. The only thing I could take away from the Bears over the yesterday and the last couple of weeks is that the defense is starting to resemble an actual NFL, product. They're actually playing well. They're playing hard. They're able to cause some turnovers. Last week they caused some turnovers. Still only one sack. So the trenches and getting a guy who could put the quarterback on his ass is still a priority. I would say priority number one, even over figuring out the quarterback situation this winter. But outside for the Tyson Bagent shit, I mean, he did what he did what he was supposed to do, and he's shown now that he's a capable NFL level backup. That's all he showed to me. He's a capable NFL level backup. He's better than when we trouted out who was the backup last year? Simeon and Peterman.
Simeon,
Yeah,
yeah, oh my
he's
God.
he's better there. He does get the ball out quick and he does process. Now I can't tell you if that's by design, if everything is meant to be one read, hike, let it go. Like if it's predetermined where he's going, when they break the huddle where he's going with the ball, I can't tell you that. All I know is that the Bears ran the ball. They did an amazing job running the ball yesterday. They ran the ball over 30 times. They had short fields. They never really facing long down situations. So we never really had to see Tyson Bagent really have to come throw. They took the lead very early and they never gave it back. So what did we learn? It was just a random W in October. I think when the season's over, the only thing we're gonna remember is that, hey, remember when Tyson Bagent came in and started and we won a game? But what did we learn? This is so Chicago Bears. We're gonna fuck around and probably win some games, I think, here coming up once Justin comes back. So we're probably gonna push our draft pick back. And this team is playing pretty hard for Matt Eberflus. So what happens? If they rattle off the season starting how they were and they finish with 6-7 wins, do they stay? And honestly, none of us can put it past us that this organization wouldn't keep them. You know what I'm saying? So it was, for me, it was just like, I'm over it. I was annoyed by it.
I didn't take anything from it. I don't think there's nothing you can take from anything these niggas do. Like for the entire fucking year. I watch the game because I have to, because it's my fucking job. Because not just because you great folks who watch this show, because a lot of y'all are loyal listeners to 79th and Howlers. My brother was at that albatross of a game, and now I'll be there this Sunday at SoFi Stadium. But it was a boring ass game. Like not just from the Bears perspective. One thing I took from that too is the fucking Raiders are fucking terrible. Like fucking Josh McDaniels needs to not ever be a coach again. But to me, as if I take my media member hat off, and like Mikey always says, I know the fan's still in there somewhere. I don't hear your fan take. My fan take is, even though there's a big risk that they could win some games and Matt Eberflus might keep his job. And like you just said, Mikey, none of us can put that, can say the Bears wouldn't do that. I don't really care about draft picks. I said this on 79th and Howlers. I'm going to say it again. The fucking Carolina Panthers are going to be bad enough where they're going to be, at worst, second worst team in the NFL. I think at the absolute most, they've got 2 wins in them. At the absolute most. And I only think that if that's Bryce Young gets hurt and some shit, and maybe motherfucking Dalton gets them a win or 2. I just would prefer. I want to see some wins, and I really don't care if that makes if what that means. I'd rather see some wins. I'd rather see some improvement from the roster. If there's anything I'll give improvement to, the offensive line actually looked serviceable yesterday. Maybe they actually found a working lineup that can work. If Tevin Jenkins can stay healthy, big if now, that motherfucker is a stud. Darnell Wright, and I still wanted Jalen Carter. I was in fucking Vegas, not Vegas, but Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? Was mad that we didn't get him, but he is making that draft pick much better. He has been a really good player, man. But It's just I would rather take the wins as the Bears take the wins. Even 7 is still, I don't see 7 happening. That would be crazy. I think at the most this team wins 5, and I still think that would at worst would keep them a top 5 pick. But I think there'll still be enough, even if they win a couple games, to be able to get impact players, whether they do get another quarterback or they do get Super Marv or my man from Penn State. I just personally, as a fan, would rather see wins, just to see some type of improvement. That's just how I feel about that ticket. And for Badgett, real quick, I thought he did good. I thought he did what you need a backup quarterback to do. Now it's going to be a different test this Sunday. Bright lights against a better pass rush. They've got actual film on him, which the Raiders didn't have. So I don't know if he's going to be as good as he was yesterday. But one thing, there's only one team, that's the team that's worse at guarding the run than the Raiders are. It's the Los Angeles Chargers. So I would keep running that route, which goes to my next point. Deonta Foreman, he had a great game, 3 touchdowns. I have been a Deonta Foreman guy since training camp. That I said that he should have been a starting running back and have him and Herbert come in. You don't have to not activate Roshan Johnson. You can inactivate Travis Homer. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that should have been a three-headed monster. I feel like these last 2 weeks, he's proven that. My question to y'all is, do you think he's going to be more in the offense going forward, even when Khalil and Roshan come back?
I think so, just off the strength that I know a lot of other people are, but I ain't the biggest Khalil Herbert guy. Like, don't get me wrong, he has nice plays, and he's made some plays out there. But I think when you have a guy like Foreman who runs the way that he runs, as well as the rookie Rashawn when he comes back, I think those are the 2 guys that should be getting the bulk of the carries. I mean, he's a good change of pace back, but you never see 3 running backs. There's always 2. Even when you look down in Atlanta with Bijan and Algier, you always got 2. So I think going forward, given the success and now who we have, he was doing this last season when he stepped up in Tennessee. So I think he should definitely get more of the carries. But I will see. I think it's funny that now we're starting to see the game plan being based off the opponent and not just what these dickheads want to do. But I mean, hey, that's just the Bears.
Yeah, I would definitely ride with Foreman and Roshan, and I would work Herbert in as the third down back. Honestly, I liked Foreman. Full disclosure, Scott. I always used to say I would always say I think they're gonna cut him just because of the fact that he doesn't play special teams. So when Travis Homer plays special teams, Johnson plays special teams. You're getting that there. Now I think it's a proven. I think he's shown what he showed last year when the Panthers traded Christian McCaffrey. This is a guy ran for almost like 920 yards, I want to say, last year. And that's that he didn't really start until about week 4. So he's somebody that can be the bell cow for the for the running back room, and then you work in a Roshan Johnson. You give him, you give Roshan Johnson the touches in the passing game and stuff of that nature, because we know Roshan Johnson, probably out of the 3 running backs, is the best pass blocking running back that we have. So I would definitely ride with Dante Foreman. And the same as like Dante said, this is the offensive scheme and this is the offensive game plan that they should have been running from day one. We don't know. There's no rhyme or reason with this coaching staff. It's one of the reasons that I think they all should be shown the pink slip at the end of the season. But at the end of the day, like you said, Scott, what does it fucking matter?
Right. We're all gonna die anyway. I'll say this real quick about Deonta Foreman. I think he should be the main back. I agree with both of y'all. They should use all 3. Use the 3-headed monster. You know what I'm saying? That will help the most. It will make the game easier, not only for Tyson Badgett, but more importantly, Justin when he gets back. You know what I'm saying? That will make the offense better. This needs to be a heavy emphasis on the run. This is a team that led the league in rushing last year. And it's like, oh, it's week 7. Oh, we can run the fucking football. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I feel like you should have said. It shows just how bad this coaching staff is. That's something they need to do going forward. And I will say this one last thing. I saw Bears fans tweeting yesterday, why didn't you do this when Justin was here? Let's be 100% real. If they'd have gave that many damn carries when Justin's out there, y'all have been bitching about them not letting Justin throw. Is it Uchi Wally or is it one Mike? You can't have it both ways, my nigga. Going on to the defense. The defense has played well these last 3 games. Really like how they played yesterday. My question to y'all is, do you think that there's been a philosophy change, since, Flus has been more hands-on, and he brought in a defensive, not coordinator, but I guess like assistant to bring over. We all know the pass rushes in there. That's not going to change till they get actual dogs up front. But do you think that this defense can at least be serviceable for the rest of the season?
No. I think once again, we've fallen into the trap. We've done it again. They've played 3 badass offenses, and this has been the results, And shout out to Jalen Johnson. I'm glad he's getting his money. I mean, I think he is one of the underrated corners in the league, but as far as the rest of the season, I still think with the lack of a pass rush, when you get into these games with offenses that can actually move the ball, and the last thing you want, no matter how good you think your corners are, is for them to be out there 4 or 5 seconds trying to cover somebody. Like NFL players are just too fast for that. So I think as we start to, face better opponents who have a better offensive philosophy, it's going to be right back to what we were seeing. Like, they may not get blown out because Flus has more of a grasp on the cover 2 that he likes to run, and the linebackers have been playing better, but no, not at all.
Right. And I agree to a point. This run defense is starting to become pretty damn good. If you look at all the metrics, they have pretty much like a top 12, top 13 run defense. So that's good for being in the top half of the league. So my issue is when it comes up to these games where we will be playing, for example, this weekend, we'll be playing Justin Herbert. This is a team that, yes, they're coming off of 2 back-to-back losses. We know what we like to say the Bears are. The Bears are the get-right game. This is a quarterback that can put the ball all over the field. They still got some weapons. It's going to be interesting to see Keenan Allen on Jalen Johnson. So now you have guys like Joshua Palmer, Austin Eckler in the passing game. If they stuff the Chargers run game early, Austin Eckler is still liable to get you 80, 90 yards receiving. That's just the type of threat he is. So I'm more worried when it comes down to facing these passing quarterbacks as we get further on into the season, because we know what it's like. We're still, as good as we're playing, we're still not putting the quarterback on his ass. 1 sack this week. I want to say 1 sack last week, or maybe there was a lot of pressure. 2. Okay. So 3 sacks. That's, there's guys out there. There's guys out there that are getting 2 in the game by themselves. So the defense is playing well. They will hold up. It might be a little bend, don't break. I think we're starting to see growth from the rookie, Zach Pickens. I really like him. I think he's further along than Javon Dexter, and he's showing more. He's flashing more. Billingsley has been a monster up front, but we need more. We need guys that are putting the quarterback on their ass, especially when it comes down to facing what we have. We got Justin Herbert this weekend. The following week we go to New Orleans, and that's going to be a hostile environment. It's always tough in the Superdome. If Justin Fields is not playing, it's going to be even tougher on Tyson Bagent. And the Saints can go ahead, and they have multiple wide receivers there for our secondary, which is pretty young outside of Jalen Johnson. So if we fall behind the sticks and we fall behind early, it could be dangerous.
I agree with y'all to an extent. I'll say this, that I feel like I think they're going to be at least decent for the rest of the year just because of this. I think they will get exposed on Sunday, and we'll preview the game on Friday because like you said, like Jason Goff said, the Bears are the get right game. So I definitely think that Justin Herbert and them be able to look like they should be looking against this Bears defense. But look at the rest of these other teams, though. Like, I feel like it'll at least be serviceable. Yeah, all the things you just named, Mikey, about New Orleans, I agree with. But I'm not check down Jesus. Like, look, they'll be able to at least keep them at a respectable point spread, I believe. Then you play Bryce Young. They're gonna get their ass whooped by Detroit. Detroit gonna put up maybe 40 on them niggas. We just saw they didn't let Minnesota do much. Then you got Detroit again. That'll be another ass whooping. Cleveland, Freaky Sean looks terrible. Let's just call it a buck. He looks god awful. He looks like that's gonna be one of the worst contracts ever signed in sports history. Then they play Arizona. I mean, they've been decent. I'm not expecting them niggas to score a lot of points, especially not on fucking Christmas Eve and that cold ass weather.
That'll be Kyler Murray there though. That'll be Kyler Murray.
You're right. Kyler Murray.
That'll be Kyler Murray there.
You're right about that. Forgot about that. Kyler Murray. Even then, I still don't expect them to put that too many points up. Atlanta, Desmond Ridder. And we all know how ass what fucking Jordan Love is, and I think they have a better game plan for Jordan Love. So just off the fact that they're playing not that many explosive people, like outside of Justin Herbert and Jared Goff, I think they'll be decent just because by default, not because they're a good defense. So that's pretty much what I say about that.
You bring up good points. You bring up good points with that with the second half schedule and what it's looking at. Basically, the best two quarterbacks we will be facing are going to be these next 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Kyler Murray in 2 months.
Kyler Murray in 2 months. So, but quick Justin Fields update. Flu said he is doubtful for Sunday. I'm not expecting him to play. They said that he's making great progress. He will not be going on IR. He will not need surgery. They said he's starting to pawn the ball better. My educated guess, and I want to preface this with I don't know, because I have to say this now because people think because I'm in the building and I know certain things. I just want to let y'all niggas know the Bears move like the mafia. Okay, there could be a player who got shot in front of us, and Flukes would be like, "Oh, there was no bullet that came out of him." So I'm just gonna say this is just my educated guess. My educated guess is he comes back in a couple weeks against the Carolina Panthers on Thursday Night Football because he's not gonna play this Sunday. Unless he just has miraculous healing. I don't see him playing against the Saints because why would you have him play twice in 5 days when you can have him play at home against a team that's worse, that's easier for you to play, and then you have 10 days off right after. So my educated guess, he comes back November 9th against the Carolina Panthers. What do y'all think to Justin to come back?
You on mute, G.
You on mute, Dante.
That's how you know I don't give a fuck. But no, that sounds about right. Like you said, I could even see if they're able to win, one of these 2 games heading up into that, if they let Bagent and they give Justin that 10 days to rest the hand and he comes back after that. But that sounds about right.
No, I agree. I completely forgot when you had mentioned it earlier today about the Panthers, that game being a Thursday night game. It doesn't make sense to bring him out, the first game back after missing 2 weeks, to bring him out, play on the Saints, and then have a short week, play at home against Carolina. How effective is he going to be? Give him the full they gave him 2 to 4 week time period. Give him that full 4 weeks. Let him, or 3 weeks it'll probably be. Let him heal up, and then from there it's all eyes on Justin.
Yeah,
going forward. Matt Eberflus came out today and said, clear as day, Justin Fields is our starting quarterback. When healthy and when he's cleared, Tyson Bagent is the backup. So we'll see where that goes. You rattled off the list of teams outside of the Browns defense. It's kind of set up for Justin to have a successful second half season going into whether it's a year where they pick up his option or where he's showcasing his talents for the Atlanta Falcons or teams across the league. So I think November we'll see him, and hopefully he can stay healthy and we get him for the rest of the year.
One last quick note before we move on to the Bulls, man. We'll go more in depth on this particular conversation on Friday because I actually want to talk about the Jim Harbaugh thing. It's quick speed. Give me a percentage wise on Jim Harbaugh being head coach of the Bears in January.
92%.
Woo! Okay, high. Okay.
I'm not as high. I'm probably at like 25%. My whole thinking is they had the opportunity to hire him last year when he wanted to come out. They didn't want to acquiesce to his requests they didn't even give him an interview. I think they probably just gave him the simple call. He probably listed his demands because he's still his name is still respected in that room and he has a relationship with the McCaskies. But remember, Jim Harbaugh wanted to bring in his own GM. He wanted to do his own things. I don't know if the Bears are willing to do that with such a young GM. Now, if you tell me that they're moving on from Ryan Poles and they're starting fresh, okay, now I'm at Dante. I'm in that 90% range because it makes perfect sense. But I don't know if you want to bring in.
He froze and freeze up.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. My
Miami bandwidth.
I would say this as we attempt to get Mikey back. I'm going to say 40. I'm gonna say 40%, just because I'm not really for the reasons that Mikey named before his internet went in, is that I'm not 100% sure the Bears are ready to able to give him that control. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not 100% sure that they're going to give him that control. And I'm also not 100% sure that they're going to fire Matt Eberflus. Like if they get a couple other wins going up, you know what I'm saying? That might be an issue right there too. So I'm going to put it at 40.
It's just sad that this is what we come to. Like it's just sad that we really think that at this point Eberflus might keep his fucking job, bro. Like,
yeah.
and that's where we are right now with it. And it's nuts, bro. But no, I think if this season ends in a complete dumpster fire, the way that it's still trending that way, let's not get hype off a Raiders win. Let's not get hype off a Raiders victory, or just say based off the schedule. Because as we've seen, strength of schedule is some bullshit most times. Like it is what it is. So if this season ends with you having the first and the second pick, or the second and the third, first and third, whatever, I think it makes the most sense to completely wipe the slate clean. And I would pray that little George McCaskey finally smell the roses and say, hey, wait a minute, Virginia doesn't have that much time left. Let's get this shit over with. You feel me? Let's tap in. Let's wipe the slate clean and start over. So that's why I'm so high on it, because I still think that this season is going to be a complete shitstorm up until the very end. And when you're sitting there with 2 of the top 3 picks, or pick 1 and 2, it's no way in hell I'm gonna let you do this shit again. Ryan Poles just turned 3 second-round picks into 3 fucking cornerbacks. Get the fuck out of here! No,
Dante for the rent.
You're right. We got to move on.
I can feel the blood pressure getting higher.
Like, no. 92%.
I was gonna cut on the dreams and nightmares. We got another thing. These weak ass niggas.
Man, but yeah, I'm moved on, bro.
We got Mikey back. I was just saying, Mikey, I got on 40% because I don't know if they're willing to give Harbaugh the power that he wants, and also with, like you just named, these wins that they might keep Eberflus, which would be terrible and would be peak Bears. So I'm gonna put it at 40%, man. So let's move on. We're gonna talk about the Chicago Bulls. I'm gonna tell you just how apathetic that Dante is about the Bulls. I said in the pre-show meeting, let's actually act like we give a fuck about these niggas, to our Bulls fans who watch this fucking show. And now the Chicago Bulls, man, coming off a play-in appearance last year, they went 40-42. They had pretty much with anybody with an actual brain, the type of season they thought they were going to have. Coming into this year, Zach LaVine had a lot of trade rumors coming into the offseason. DeMar DeRozan's looking for a new contract. What's it called? Kobe White just got a new contract. They brought in Javon Carter. They brought in Torrey Craig to help the team a little bit more. I know they wanted to get rid of Andre Drummond, but that nigga said, you gonna pay me. I'm opting into this player option. Before we get to the first one about Patrick Williams, now, of course, these moves aren't splashy. What do you guys feel about Javon Carter and Torrey Craig, as Dante looks like he's trying to struggle to find something good to say?
No, I'm gonna let Mikey go first. I'm gonna go last in every Bulls topic, probably all season. But Mikey, go ahead.
I mean, those moves make sense if you're actually trying to win something. Those moves make sense if you're the Boston Celtics, you're the Miami Heat, you're the Denver Nuggets, you're the Los Angeles Lakers. I do not understand what those moves do. We still, to this day, it is October 23rd. We do not have a solid option at point guard. Casey Johnson's been reporting that it's probably going to be Kobe White, a starting lineup of Kobe White, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Patrick Williams, and Vooch. I don't. So where's the scoring coming from the second unit? If you're putting Kobe into the starting lineup. So I like the moves. I have to preface this by saying I did not watch 1 second of Bulls preseason basketball. But from what I've heard, right, but what I've heard from my man Gordo, what I've heard from my man JP is that defensively, when you have Billy Donovan has some rotations out there where he had Caruso, Craig, and Carter, and they were giving teams fits. So defensively, I like that. But then you're telling me you have those three on the court. Where is the scoring coming from? Who are the other two on the court with them? So it's going to be interesting to see. The Bulls did not extend a contract extension to Patrick Williams today. So this is a make or break season for him. Whether they hoping he's betting on himself, I do not know. But it's going to be an interesting season for the Bulls.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. I mean, Mike, you said these are moves that are good if you're trying to win something, which I don't know what the fuck the Bulls are trying to do. I've been wanting Torrey Craig on this team really since the first year when Lonzo Ball was healthy, and I feel like that team, and that's also why, like, I get why AK is so hell bent on trying to make this work as a nigga who doubles down even when he knows he's on bullshit. I am a notorious double downer, even when I know I'm wrong. So as one hard-headed nigga to another, I get where Arturas Carnesova is coming from. I like both moves for what they are. And I think what those moves have is you create a little bit more three-point shooting. Granted, these niggas were the worst three-point shooting team in the league last year. And don't hit me with no advanced stats. Well, technically they had this. Yeah, I know percentage-wise they weren't that bad, but when you only shoot a certain amount of games, it's like when you give me big men's field goal percentage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck about what Shaq's shooting for field goal percentage was. Niggas right by the fucking basketball hoop. So, to me, that's how I look at it when it comes to the three-point shooting. So, yes, Torrey Craig and a Javon Carter helps that a little bit, but it doesn't really move the needle for me personally. As far as, like, my expectations, and my expectations aren't hell. I should give up on the Bulls like I give up with the White Sox. Now, I'm going to give you the reason why I don't. And this is completely irrational, but it is what it is. The Bulls are my first love when it comes to sports. The reason I love sports right now is because of Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. Now, I know that bald-headed bastard has been going out of my life for 25 years on my team. But I still watch the Bulls. Not all the time. If the Bulls can lose my interest. Like, I stopped watching the Bulls like mid-January last year. So I can quit on the season. I've done it before, and I will do it again if they play bad. My in-hell expectations, if they can at least be entertaining, play defense like they played in the preseason so far, and at least be somewhere within that 5 to 8 playoff range, I'll at least watch them on like a cold night in March when there's nothing else to do but to watch Zach and DeMar go 2-on-5. That's my personal feelings on the Bulls and what they've done so far.
And, the end of that statement is really why I feel the way I feel about the Bulls. Like, you said a 5-day seed. Like, they are not terrible. They're not great. They're good on some nights, borderline unwatchable on other nights. So it's just one of those things where my expectations are another middle of the pack season. We may be the last playoff team or a play-in team, and we're going to lose in the first round. Like, I don't have any expectations because there's nothing to expect from these niggas. And it's unfortunate because I actually like DeMar a lot. I like DeMar and Vooch, and a lot of this team was predicated on Lonzo Ball, which we haven't seen in 2 seasons. So, I mean, that's unfortunate, but, like, at this point with the Bulls, I'm used to shit being unfortunate. So, I'm not going to sit here and hope for anything. I will say Zach LaVine is healthy. He said this is the healthiest he's felt in a long time. Let's see how long that lasts. I think, one of the things about our offense that worked really well was actually, getting Vooch the ball. But when you have 2 guards like DeMar and Zach, he is a third option. So, yeah, he did average a double-double, but it's going to be nights where he's not, being utilized to the best of his abilities. So I think, with this team, it's gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be some nights you're like, okay, I see why people like this team, and there's gonna be other nights it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like you just said, those 3 guard lineups with the 2 free agent signings and Caruso, who's gonna score the ball? Like, and who is legit gonna score the ball? And we gonna talk about y'all boy, which you, the Bulls, Chicago Bulls. Let's fucking.
Hey, the local hour got Dante in hell.
I just can't believe this shit.
Yeah. That nigga had to stop himself from what he was gonna say. And that's a perfect segue to Patrick Williams. And I will say that if you're going to spend money on motherfucking shit at fucking United Center, spend money to go watch the God Connor Bedard. That's where you need to be putting your coins at, not go to see these sorry ass niggas, man. But let me put my media hat back on. Let me take my fan hat back off. Media hat back on. Let's talk about Patrick Williams, number 1 draft pick from a couple years ago, from a basketball podcast me and Dante once had, which is Ball Don't Lie. We talked about what happened when the nigga got drafted. Me being a positive nigga that I am, I said, we'll wait and see. Dante from jump said, what the fuck is this shit? What the fuck is this shit? What the fuck are y'all doing? Only thing he got in common with Kawhi is them niggas got braids. You can go back and find that episode and it's somewhere in the Barber's Chair archives. My question to y'all, especially with him not getting a qualifying offer today, it's a make or break year from Patrick Williams. What does Patrick Williams have to do for you guys to have him be a part of this team going forward?
Not be a fucking florist. I mean, I don't understand. Okay, you look at Jaden McDaniels' contract today, right? Same class, everything. Jaden McDaniels averaging around 13 points a game. Last year, Patrick Williams averaged 10 points a game. That's cool. Do you see Patrick Williams taking a jump to averaging 15 points a game as the what is he? The fourth option on this team? I don't see it. I don't see it. So that would warrant, I don't see it as long as DeMar DeRozan is on the team. So I normally do not tune in. I watch Bulls basketball as long as I'm free. I tune in and I watch it, but I don't have heavy interest in it. I will have heavy interest in the Bulls basketball for these first 2 months, because if Patrick Williams is kind of taking a step, but the team isn't really doing so well, I 100% see DeMar DeRozan being traded in early 2020. What are we going into? 2024, right before the trade deadline. So for Patrick Williams, you want to see rebounding. You want to see him not be scared to actually put the ball on the ground and actually try to, assert himself offensively, because there are many times we've seen it in the Billy Donovan tenure where Patrick Williams just doesn't even see the floor in crunch time situations because he's a liability offensively. He's just standing in the corner. So you want to see aggressiveness. You want to see assertiveness. I'm just trying to figure out where that happens. Where, like how Scott said, Zach and DeMar play 2-on-5. You got to give Vooch his touches. And where is Patrick Williams getting his 15 points a game? Where is he getting his 10 to 12 shots a game?
I mean, yeah, to answer that, do I think he can average 15 points a game? If nobody else is on this team, yes. Yes, if there was nobody else on this team, sure. He has too much of a calm demeanor, too much of a nonchalant demeanor to tell those ball hogging niggas and DeMar and Zach, give me the goddamn ball. He doesn't have that in him enough to me to believe he can average 15 points. He has the potential, but like we've been talking about since this motherfucker got drafted, potential. If he had that dog of, yo, give me the basketball, and I honestly feel Zach and DeMar would give him the ball more if they knew he was aggressive 24/7. They don't give him the ball more because they know he's not aggressive. It's not just, we don't want to give Pat the ball. So I think I have no expectations for this dude. None. I can't tell you what he's going to do this year. I don't fucking know what he's going to do this year. He could average 10 points a game. He could average 18. He could actually click. Maybe the fact that his financial future is on the line, maybe he'll be more aggressive. If I knew I had $20 million here on the line, I'd be like, hey, maybe I should shoot the goddamn basketball. So I don't have no expectations for him. It's just really wait and see. But if he does, we say this all the time, but if he does make the leap to like a 15 points per game, that changes this team's trajectory significantly, in my personal opinion.
With everything y'all have just said, how can I legit expect anything from this man? Like, because I mean, with the way the team is structured and what I would want from him in order to give him a new contract, he's not going to sniff anywhere close to 15 points a game. Like, we could say, okay, make a jump and make more of an impact on the defensive end of the ball, but yeah, that's only going to go so far. At this point, you still want to see a guy you selected with the 4th overall pick put the ball in the bucket. And, at this point, he has not done that at a consistent clip. So, in order for him to be on this roster after next season, he will legit have to go nuclear. And I mean, go crazy to the point where they moved DeMar because they're like, okay, we want to give DeMar shots to Pete Will. And we all know that ain't going to fucking happen. So it is a make or break season, but I think that shit going to break. And the more we talk about it, I just talked about all of Ryan Pohl's draft picks. But AK is right there. Where's Dalen Terry? Where is, AO is a backup, but what are we going to see from AO? It's once again, with the pieces you do have, the draft picks that are, the way you get cheap talent in there, you failed. You passed on Halliburton. We don't. I'm sure Lotto still tells you about that, but it's one of those things where.
Yeah, as soon as I see that nigga Lotto next week, I know that's first thing he gonna
that's the first thing he gonna say.
Of course.
What did the Flores do? He gonna ask you, right? What did the Flores do? Did he get a contract? Because Halliburton did. Like
Halliburton got a max in a draft where we needed a point guard, but instead they went the Lonzo route, and obviously nobody would have foresaw what happened to Lonzo. But still, You go and get Halliburton, you don't have to spend that money on the point guard. You can go and address your team in other ways. And Halliburton was not a sure thing, but at the very least, he was a starting level point guard on a team that needed a distributor, that needed a playmaker. He came into his own scoring, and the rest is history. But yeah, like, I will never get over that pick because it made so much sense with who the running mates were.
Yeah. We're gonna do this last thing, and then we're gonna wrap this up because Game 7 comes on in 5 minutes.
And Monday Night Football.
And quick question. We talked about DeMar DeRozan. There's been a lot of trade chatter if the Bulls season goes left. ESPN's Brian Windhorst said that he could be a trade candidate if things don't go well, and more importantly, if he doesn't reach a contract extension with the Chicago Bulls. I will answer first. I think DeMar's going to stay because I think that as we go back to AK and his stubbornness, AK wants to let you know these moves he made worked. And honestly, I like DeMar move. I was kind of questioning about it when it happened, but if there's any move, DeMar move has actually worked out. Now, if you want to talk about, I don't think he should be getting the amount of money that he probably wants. Because no, nigga, you my age, like, so probably not. But I think just because of his double downness and he just gave Vooch his money, I think DeMar DeRozan is going to get some type of extension. And I don't think he'll be traded. What do y'all think?
Like I said, the only way I see him being moved is if P. Will starts to show you flashing, and it's like, all right, we got to get this dude to Baltimore. But that ain't gonna fucking happen. So no, DeMar DeRozan will end his career with the Chicago Bulls.
I mean, if they come out the gate kind of flat and they have a losing record in December, then I think it's a perfect chance that he might be traded.
All right, we will see, man. Hey, we did 15 minutes of Bulls coverage. Look at us. Look at us. What did Paul Rudd say? Look at us.
It's 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Dante won't get back.
That is all we got for y'all today, man, on the Monday edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. Once again, thanks, Pappy, for joining us this NBA week. We will have Big Waz from the Athletic, and also from, actually, he might not be with the Athletic anymore. Let me correct that. Big Waz from the Ringer. My fault before he texted me and shit. No, he ain't with the Athletic anymore. Big Waz from the Ringer. He will be on Friday, and we'll be recapping the first couple days of games and talk about the season as a whole with him. And of course, we'll be previewing Week 8, man, in NFL. Talk a little college football, and I'll have the announcement on Friday for Patreon subscribers, and really for all y'all, I'm Not Gonna Hold You watchers, listeners, big Patreon news on Friday. I'll be dropping a video to explain everything for y'all. Even if you're not a Patreon subscriber, we're not abandoning you whatsoever. I'll explain more on Friday. Also on Friday, we have the first ever Cousin Dan segment, which is meant to be amazing entertainment. My cousin Dan will be joining us each and every Friday to break down his most ridiculous takes in sports and entertainment. So look forward to that, man. Mikey, Dante, anything y'all want to say before we get up out of here?
Hey, man, we got one Game 7 up to kick off. We probably got another one tomorrow. It's a beautiful time to be a sports fan.
Yeah, I'm about to lock in.
Yeah, man, we'll holler at y'all. I appreciate all future birthday texts and tweets. Just letting y'all know ahead of time because I don't respond right away. I know my phone probably be on fire. I appreciate everybody. Appreciate everybody watching the show. You know, follow us on Twitter at BarberChairScott, at OctoberZonte, at Junius_Solito. Follow the Barber's Chair Network at Barber's Chair Net. Like I just said on Patreon, check all that out. We have 70 Night the Hatless on field video that my brother did yesterday after the game. That's up right now. New summer sessions will be up on Wednesday. And we appreciate y'all. We'll holler at y'all on Friday. We up out of here.
Getting paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna